I've put down, how do I actually hear the voice of God? Practical ideas to hear the voice of God. You guys, I love being practical. So here we go. I have 5 of them real fast. Number 1, take some time to be silent. Our culture is just screaming at us. Just take some time to just stop the noise. I've talked about being a morning person. I didn't plan it that way, but man, I've really become that, and I wake up and I love the darkness. I love watching the sun come up. I love having my coffee, and it's quiet. And all of a sudden, I can just sort of say, God, what's going on today? Sometimes I look at my calendar of events for the day, and I pray through them, and then every now and then I'll just be reminded that I have not stopped talking since I got up with my coffee. Even if it's to God, I'm still talking. Sometimes you need to stop talking and just listen. And another thing I would say, number 2, is just remove the distractions. Remove the distractions. If you're going to try to listen to God, how many of you have a dog or a cat or a pet? And sometimes when we grew up with black labs, love dogs. We always had at least a couple of them. And they, sadly, all of them through the years have died. I mean, I've told you before, our dogs died, our cats died, our kids all left home, and life is awesome. but we you know what I'm saying. I loved all of that, but it is interesting now. I don't have a lot of distractions. I'm just being honest. I don't. So it's easy for me. But some of you are still in the thick of all that. And so it might be that you have to say, I'm going to give the dog a treat so that they're happy. Because if I'm going to listen to God, I need some quiet. Some of you, it's just going and doing that thing that keeps bugging you. It's on your list, and you're not going to be able to hear God until you just go take care of that. Bonnie and I have this thing. How do you make a small job big? Put it off. It's the littlest thing. Just go put the laundry in the washing machine. And then it's done. Then you can listen. Get rid of the distractions. There are many kinds of distractions. Number 3, I love this one. Do not finish God's sentences for him. Sometimes when Bonnie and I, we've laughed about this through the years, because if she's really, trying to tell me something and it's inside, sometimes I'll go ahead and finish her sentence because I know what she's about to say. And she'll say, no, that's not what I was trying to say. And then she'll try again, and I'll jump in again. Finally, she'll say, could you just be quiet a minute? Well, you want to just say, don't tell me what I'm trying to say. Let me figure it out and say it. That's what I do with God all the time, because I love to finish his sentences because I know what he should be saying to me. Anybody else have my problem? But with God, he needs to finish his own sentences. It's imperative that we let him, that we listen, and we're in a posture that says, I don't know what you're going to say, but I'm going to get it before you're done, because I'm going to listen, and I'm not going to finish your sentences. Number 4, consistently read Scripture. Sounds kind of old-fashioned, but it's not. This is super relevant. And I'm gonna say something that might surprise some of you. I don't read the Bible through in a year anymore. I did that for enough times. I've done it chronologically. I've done it, all these different ways. And it's fine. If you're in the middle of that, go for it. Do it. But I think reading the Bible is not intended to get through it, especially like the Gospels, the epistles, the letters in the New Testament. It's intended for you to read, to soak it in. So I'll take a few verses, like these James passages, and just read 4 verses over and over and think about them. And how does this apply to my life? Or especially the Gospels, the stories of Jesus. And who's in this story? Andrew's in this story. Andrew actually spoke up when this miracle. Andrew never talks. Why did he talk? And try to figure that out. And then Peter jumped up and did this. Well, that's because Peter always jumps up and does that. So the context, the culture, trying to figure out, what is the Bible trying to say to me? What do these words mean? Because if you read Scripture and you put that in your heart, you will begin to hear the voice of God through that wall of integrity and character and the steadiness of Scripture that allows you to see light and dark. And that's why you need Scripture in your heart. Not too fast. And then number 5, make the plan that you feel God's speaking to you about and then run toward it. Go for it. I heard a guy the other day say, you listen to God and then you say yes and start walking. And sometimes that's how you figure out his will. People spend months trying to figure out his will when they really just needed to say yes and start walking.